This movie, it's called Passengers, and they're taking a flight to another world. And I talked about why I think uh, people or another species traveling throughout space would have to be peaceful, but they wake up early, and it's 90 years too early. So they know. Well, first it's Chris Pratt, and he's condemned to death, and he can't handle the loneliness, and so he ends up waking up. What the fuck is her name? She's stunning in this film. She's beautiful. She's at her prime. She's gorgeous. She did X-Men, Hunger Games. Jennifer, is it Jennifer? I can't remember names. Uh, Jennifer Lawrence? Yeah, okay. It's a weird name. It's so average sounding for someone so impeccably female formed. Like she's the impeccable female. And I live alone. I've been alone for 10 years. But, you know, I have my sociality of talking to people online. I used to play a lot of open mics. You know, I go to the grocery store every day. I can handle loneliness. There was a time when I didn't go somewhere for like 3 months. And I was just like, I didn't talk. And my jaw got so weak I couldn't eat a banana. And so, like, I understand loneliness on a level that this character couldn't sustain for over a year. And I've been alone for 10 years. And, you know, it's tough at times, but I get over it. And, what is that? Some bug. Almost got him. He's really small. It's tiny. It's not an gnat. I don't know what the hell it is. But yeah, like I've been alone so long that at first you do start to get when you start to realize that you're not going to be with anybody ever again. It gets tough the first 3 years. It's really tough. After 5 years and 6 years, then you find this focus, and that focus for me was philosophy and physics and science in general, invention, music, engineering, driving too fast, poetry. You start to fill your life with things, and you learn to master them. Why is it every time I make a video, somebody's driving loudly? And they haven't been driving loudly for the last fucking hour and a half until I record a video. Strong. Alcohol helps, you know. He drinks a lot of whiskey in the movie. But I think the robot and the AI are a main issue of the characters. A sense of loneliness. It's almost as if it's taunting him. And it's key to find a repetition when you're as alone as I am. You find all these things that I do. That's why people don't believe when I start to describe myself until I prefer to prove rather than speak about myself. Actions speak louder than words, that whole thing. And AI makes you feel lonelier. It's horrible. Like, when you go to the grocery store and AI is objectifying you, companies want you to make you feel watched, constantly. As if, you know, lording over food is so important. What's more important is teaching people to be a bit more conservative and not selfish. The movie, he has to eat just this fucking most basic trash food, and he's just losing his mind. He only makes it a year before he wakes up another passenger, and she's a writer, and so this whole film is basically a metaphor for, or a writing of, my description of why like an alien species would have to be peaceful. It resonates in this building. That's why it's so annoying. Outside, it doesn't bother me. And so, to maintain consistency of a culture and a species, we go through this concept too of humanity. I mean, we're still traveling technically in time. We're like on a space rock, you know. To survive, to sustain, to succeed, we have to educate. And the greatest weakness of humankind is how words change over time, because we struggle very much. We struggle a lot with, by generation, understanding a word. And so it's very difficult to keep the definition of a word consistent. American English is very capable of conveying words, and how you can define words without using the word to define it. And they teach you that in school. I need some more soda. But, so, it's this interesting concept then. He wakes her up, though I don't think he fully understands why he does it. But since he's going to die, they're going to lose somebody of value. So he picks this girl, and now they can have a family. He can educate and pass on his traits. He can pass on his wife's traits if they get married. I don't remember, but I'm rewatching it. I haven't watched it in a long time. Man, my hand is sore. And so that would be a solution, right? He's condemning her to death. However, the life that they're living, you know, relatively is just magnificent and beautiful. And so this can pass on their bloodlines. Chainsaw. I hate chainsaws. And thus, you're left with the people that are still in hibernation. versus them having to prolong. So they're going to another planet to colonize and try to take a step back from what Earth has developed into, to where they can, you know, basically go back to a prior moment of human structure and prolong that. And my fucking mustache is annoying. And anyway, so it's the same thing too with these people. They have to preserve, you know, their their traits, their education, their quality as people, and it's a really interesting film. It's got so many dynamics to it that though they would build a life on this new world, they're still in this ship that is, you know, magnificently engineered. They don't move to the mountains to fucking listen to that shit. It's annoying. I want to listen to the wind in the trees. I want to listen to nature's music. The music of the forest. I don't want to hear you dumbass car and you acting like you're a fucking cool person. I hate people. I think I'm trying to outline a character for my comedy, so I'm gonna pursue writing again. I mean, I wrote a bit in high school, but it was all just dorky stuff. People liked my writings, but you know, they were for school, for classes, and I always got really good grades at it, though. Anyway, so the whole film is like this concept of the desire to fabricate your own life and future. And the ship is denying that. That's why they're leaving to go to this other world to colonize and construct lives. And so they're trapped in what they were leaving behind. That's enough talking about. It's a really cool film.